Not every bottle comes with a story. However, this one does.
Oh, yes.
And we're going to get into that as it gets into us on this episode of Savor the Burn. Y'all ready for this?
Let's kick it!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Across the barrel from me is who? Mr. W2. How do you do, sir?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm really looking forward to getting
stoked.
this
I'm stoked for tonight. I'm stoked for this bottle.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a fun story that goes with it.
Yeah, and it's maple stout finished.
Right.
Bourbon. Get out of here. This is going to be... I have expectations. Like, I usually try to walk into these things with expectations set to 2, and then 2 out of 10, so really low. But this one here...
At the distillery, I read that label, and this one just kind of spoke to me and was the one that I had to come home with. Yeah.
We've had stout barrel finished whiskeys, I think, bourbons or whatever, and we've had maple cask finished rye. Sure. We've had maple, maybe this, that, and the other thing, but I don't think we've had a maple stout finished bourbon. This is a new one here for everybody here on the Savor the Burn podcast. And, thank you guys for following along. I mean, we're right here. If you're on YouTube, be sure to hit subscribe and click that bell notification. Stay up to date on all things Savor the Burn that way and at savortheburn.com. If you're on your audio-only podcast app of choice, we thank you also for joining in. We're gonna have this is gonna be a great episode, guys. I'm really looking forward to getting into this.
So let's roll the way back wheel all the way back because early on, audio only. Yeah. Like super early on, within the first 2 months, when a lot of our reviews and a lot of what we were getting into were from Flavier tasting boxes. Yeah. We had a sample of the Town Branch. I think it was just their plain Jane standard straight bourbon whiskey. And I don't remember a lot of the details.
Chances are we didn't have a rating for it. I mean, if it was in the first couple of months.
Yeah, if you're following along, if you want, roll that back and see if you can find it. It's early on. But I very distinctly remember not liking it.
Really?
And in hindsight, I'll get to why, but in hindsight, I wonder if it was just a bad taster bottle, because those taster bottles are 1.7 ounce little test tube bottles. There's no telling really what the process is between they pop the bottles, they divvy them out. Any amount of things could happen. That could have been, that particular taster could have been sitting on the shelf for years.
It could have been in the window next to a bright sun.
I'd like to think that all those things did not happen and it was fine, but I very distinctly remember there being just an off-putting taste on the palate. What that was, I don't remember. I myself would have to go back and rewatch our own episode. But anyway, you fast forward this.
I just tried to Google it. Google was no help. Sometimes Google is a lot of help, but
late spring, I took a trip out to finish off my bourbon trail, which I did.
Yep, very.
We'll get into that at some point. But on the distilleries that I had to check off, Town Branch was one of them. Town Branch was also one of the farthest east distilleries that I needed to still get.
All right.
And so, which is why we didn't make it there when you and I went out there, because it was just way out of the way in order to hit everything else that we did.
I remember Filmland was also kind of way out of the way, but was it in the same direction?
No, completely different area.
Well, good thing I brought that
up. So anyway, I wasn't overly excited about it, but I knew that I needed the stamp. And so I had planned that trip so that I ended up staying the night before I visited the distillery in Lexington, so I could just wake up in the morning, hit the distillery, get what I needed to, and then hightail it to Buffalo Trace or wherever it was that I was headed after that. And actually, now that I think about it, I don't think it was Buffalo Trace. I think I was heading somewhere else because they were closed because of the flood that happened.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so I get there and I learned so much about that I'll get into after we kind of dive into this. But I got there like an hour before they opened because the alarm clock went off and I was ready to amped up and ready to go.
Some people pop up like daisies when there's a sound, when there's an alarm clock going off.
Well, when there's bourbon involved.
I am Mr. Snooze button. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not good at getting up on
So
time.
I ended up just sitting out. They had a little patio area. I sat out there. I put together a handful of little video shorts for YouTube and twiddled my thumbs. And when they finally opened the door, I was the only one in there for probably a half an hour or so. It was me and the general manager, and we took off talking, and the band came up, and before I knew it, Burn the Gates was blaring through the visitor center. It was quite awesome.
Not your typical distillery soundtrack.
You're right,
you know? Usually it's, some kind of country or golf friendly.
So the cool thing about Town Branch that really, really makes them unique.
Besides the people.
And I'm going to bounce all over the place. But one of the things that really, really makes them unique is, and it so makes sense, and it really makes me wonder why there are not more of these out there. Town Branch is the distillery side of the Lexington Distilling and Brewing Company.
Oh.
They have and the main road that goes through their area there, they have a brewery on one side of the street. All the lines and pipes and all that kind of go over connecting the two.
Wow.
And on the other side is the distillery. And then the other corner, there's three corners there, is the visitor center. And so they are a distilling and a brewing company. So
cool.
They have an entire catalog of beer that they brew. The stout that this was finished, the barrels of stout that these were finished in is their own stout.
Wow.
And so as a result of that, and you think about this bottle in particular, they're taking their bourbon, they're dumping it, they're then sending the empty barrel over across the street to their brewing side of it.
Yeah,
they're putting their
up.
stout in that bourbon barrel that was previously had their bourbon in it, aging their stout, dumping that, sending the barrel back over to the other side, and this whole reciprocal relationship that just so makes sense. And knowing the brewing and the distilling process, up to a certain point, it's the exact same process.
It is.
When you're distilling spirits, you're kind of taking a left turn and just going farther with the process. But it all starts kind of the same. So, and having the ability to utilize the barrels in that capacity, it makes so much sense to me. Why there is that said, I've also learned that a couple of the Scotch distilleries over in Scotland that we're fond of do distillery only local beers there too. So it does happen. There are others out there, but it really, really just kind of struck me as this makes so much sense. Why isn't there more of this?
Yeah.
And so in the gift shop, you've got half of the place that has all the beers. They've got the entire their visitor center is all themed and decorated to where it looks like an old school downtown English marketplace. You've got like the pub storefronts and markets and all that. So you kind of feel like you're in the UK walking around there. But they have their beers, they have all their spirits, they have all the merchandise and all the things. And so hit it off real good with the store manager. We had great conversations, and I was wearing my T-shirt, and in the conversation, he goes, "Do you by chance have access to a digital version of your T-shirt?" And I look down, and I'm like, "Oh, our Savor the Burn logo." I'm like, "Yeah." So I look at I've got it on my Google Drive. He's like, "Can you email it to me?" I'm like, okay, sure. So I email it to him.
It happens. I mean, we're kind of a big deal. It happens.
And I'm standing there with this bottle in hand because I had already kind of looked through there. There was a couple of other bottles I really wanted, but they were higher dollar bottles. They were their anniversary 10 year.
And that's weird for me to hear you say because you started off talking like, you weren't impressed by them at all.
I wasn't.
But like you said, it was the Flavier test tube.
And I had already, but because of that, I had already kind of gotten in my head, I want to get one bottle. I want to give them another try.
Yes.
And so I had planned on getting a bottle, which I did only get a bottle. But when I got there, I had a lot to choose from. And so I really had to kind of weigh this one versus that one. And so I had this in my hand. And so I emailed him the file, and he looks at his phone and he has it. He's like, "Oh, cool. All right, why don't you follow me?" So we disappeared. There was a tour that had just kind of that was supposed to be coming in soon, but we went to the back room, and before I know it, long story, little shorter. They had a laser etching machine there that he took my bottle, he loaded it up on there, and before I knew it, he started laser etching our logo on the bottle.
How cool is that?
As just kind of a, hey, thanks for coming in and hanging out and having a great conversation and all the things. So, yeah, it's just super, super cool. I'm dying for you to pop this open. Let's get a bottle pop and let's learn a little bit about this particular expression.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
And how gorgeous is that bottle?
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
I mean, it's squared. It's tall.
I mean, you could reuse it as a decanter, if you wanted to pull the labeling off of it.
Which is why they had these.
This would be the new front.
Of course. They had these glass decanter toppers on there, and their 10-year anniversary, which was a $150 bottle, and I wasn't quite ready to pull the trigger on that because I wanted to have another date with them, so to speak. Yeah. And so I wasn't quite ready to pull that trigger, so I got this bottle. But I saw this and I was like, just like you said, that is a perfect decanter bottle for the future. It needs a glass decanter top on there. Yeah. And they had a handful of customized ones. This one just had the Lexington Distillery and Brewery logo on it. So I was like, yep, that's the one. That's the one.
Bottle pop, coming in hot. Nice.
Natural cork? Nope, that's composite, but it's got the flex in there, so it kind of
it makes it look like.
Or is it?
What is that?
Maybe it is natural cork.
Yeah. Ooh, you can smell. It's like malty as hell.
That is natural cork.
Kind of smell it from there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So
that definitely has a stout.
Where it's kind of marred up there, it's right there in the neck. So if you get a little bit of cork in your glass, don't freak out.
It is natural cork. Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
all natural.
This is the Town Branch Maple Barrel Stout Bourbon. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon because it was distilled, aged, and bottled in the state of Kentucky. It was distilled by the Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. I think I said that backwards earlier because, this podcast is about distilleries. Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company. There is no age statement on this, but it is finished in a Kentucky Maple Stout barrel for over 12 months.
That's pretty cool.
So whatever the age actually is on this, and it's not single barrel, so it's going to be a small batch of some kind. I don't know if maybe the label says so.
Dude, there's a lot of fine print on the side. There's
small batch. Small batch. Okay,
there you
go. But there is an additional over 12 months finishing in the maple stout barrel. This does come in at 94 proof, and our mash bill, 72% corn, 15% rye, 13% malted barley.
Okay.
So a unique expression of Town Branch bourbon finished in freshly decanted Kentucky maple barrel imperial stout barrels to add flavors of the beer alongside traditional flavors of bourbon. And I have very short and sweet tasting notes that I'll get to in a minute, but their website also did just happen to mention that they recommend this grilled and smoked meats, sharp cheese, and dark chocolate desserts are preferable.
So we need one of them charcuterie boards We need your base rig with the meat and cheese drawer.
Hey,
you know,
I mean,
just in case you get a upset.
that's what they're for.
If you get a hangry drummer, we got to, and I mean smoked meats, the smoked salmon. I mean,
Sure.
maybe this would be great with that. Yeah, it seems like anytime you get that smoked salmon, it's
this is nice. What a beautiful color.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's dark. It's rich. It's kind of a deep. Yeah, it's a deep dark amber. Maybe a tarnished bronze.
Yeah, something. I think that's a technical term here with whiskey review things.
I think you nailed it with malt. I mean,
Malt, right off the top.
There's a strong malted beer.
Yeah.
Beer malt kind of
You think it's beer malt?
I do.
I thought malt / barley.
Because it reminds me.
I'll go beer.
It reminds me of a stout.
Okay.
I'm getting the stout.
And right after that, I picked up creamed corn.
Okay.
And then I was like, it's got to be a high corn, content. And then when you said it's 73,
72%,
72, I was like, yeah, I guess that explains it. And honey.
I'm getting a little bit of chocolate. And some
chocolate.
And some brown sugar.
All right. What kind of chocolate?
A Nestle Quick cocoa powder by the spoonful.
In that metal can with the, you had to pry it open with the back of the spoon. Why are all the spoons bent? Like, well, because, your boyfriend's a junkie. No, he's not.
And you get that whole spoon in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then a little bit of it goes down the wrong way, and then you cough and
yeah. And
yep.
Then your mom yells down the stairs, "Get out of my cigarettes!" We had similar childhoods, didn't we? All right, so malt, barley, beer, whatever, creamed corn, honey, cocoa powder, brown sugar. That's a decent amount of stuff on here, and it's 94.
There's
proof.
a little bit of caramel too.
So
yeah,
it's 94 proof. So I'm expecting there to be some decent things happening here on the palate. So
Town
here's
Branch.
to you, Town Branch.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, that stout
That's
influence
great.
is right there.
That's nice.
Oh yeah, and you feel that on the finish.
There's just a little bit of a rye spice, not much of one, but just a little bit of a pepperiness to the tail end of that palate.
I'm picking up like right now with the oh fuck there's chocolate. There's chocolate like dark. It's like a dark chocolate.
And the caramel became toffee.
Are you talking about on the palate or the finish?
On the palate.
Because like
the end of the palate also gives way to a dark black cherry.
Dark black cherry.
This is fantastic. This is delicious.
You said the dark black cherry happened on its
late palate into the finish.
Okay.
Yep.
Get back in here. Where did you say there was? You said the caramel evolved into toffee, and that was on the palate.
The end of the palate into the finish.
Okay. Yeah,
let's not forget that there is a little bit of a maple sweetness to that.
I've been looking for it. I'm not picking up on it. Did you picked up on some maple?
No, I am. Yeah, just not hardly at all on the nose, but palate into the finish. I'm getting a little bit of a maple sweetness.
When you were there, did you get a chance to try their maple stout beer?
I did not. I tried this. I tried
that.
I had a whole flight, which they were.
Okay.
They were. Tell me what you want to try.
Okay.
And
okay.
I was like, well, it is 9 a.m., but
well,
think I won't.
I mean, you'd been up since what, 5? Or no, you were out the door at 5.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no. This was day 2. So this is. I had been hopping the whole day before, but I had landed in Lexington.
Yeah.
For the evening, and I did have some fine pours that night before though.
Yeah. For me, the stout influence, it takes over in a good way. I think on the it's steering the boat on the palate and through into the finish. I'm very very happy with it. It's not what I thought it was going to be, but it's drier. It's not as sweet. I
can see that.
For whatever reason, I thought it was going to be a little sweeter, and I thought I was going to pick up more on the. Maybe it's because I'm used to drinking like a milk stout, like a Dragon's Milk beer. Used to. I haven't had one in God knows how long, but So good. But
Yeah. Is there a little bit of anise and maybe clove?
it's got the funky spices. I'm not picking up on the cinnamon or the nutmeg, but
No cinnamon. No,
it's got the different
but
ones.
A clove and anise, and maybe that's the pepperiness that's there. Because
that carries through.
I almost
onto
said licorice, but it's not quite licorice.
It's not licorice. It's not mint.
And that's why I think it's maybe the anise and clove.
It's like the mint, spearmint, licorice, whatever. That would be what you would expect from a barley kind of thing. But yeah, it's not that. It's something else. How much rye did you say was in here? Was there any?
Yes, it is 15%.
15%.
Yeah.
Huh.
And 13% malted barley.
Well, we should expect some of that pepperiness to show up on the palate, but I'm not getting it. I'm not getting the maple either. You did though, and that's all I need in order to write.
The chocolate is
something
fantastic
down.
on this.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting chocolate.
And we get chocolate from time to time. This being finished in a stout barrel, though, makes me really believe that the chocolate influence is coming off of that stout.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Because especially when you're talking about imperial stouts, which are your stouts that are finished in bourbon barrels.
Was that an imperial stout?
That's what it says.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Those, because they are a higher ABV, they imbue. Would that be the right word? They imbue those chocolate notes.
Okay. All right.
So anyway,
did you read this? Town Branch Bourbon is
I did not.
handcrafted.
Please do for us.
Okay. All right. There's a little rating. There's a little writing here on the side, little kind of strip here, and it's nice and small too. So my aging eye holes. I've never worn readers. I believe in the next couple of years you're gonna see me wearing readers. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't care. Everybody gets older. Eyes degrade over time. Town Branch Bourbon is handcrafted to pay homage to the rich distilling history in Lexington, Kentucky.
Go.
I swear I'm a mushmouth mofo. Named for the Town Branch waterway upon which Lexington was founded. I didn't know that. And was once the site of much bourbon production. This unique expression of Town Branch's bourbon has been finished in freshly decanted Kentucky maple barrel stout barrels to add flavors of the beer alongside traditional bourbon flavors of oak, caramel, brown sugar, and cherry. So you picked up on cherry. But oak? Are you getting an oakiness on here? Neither one of us said oak.
No.
I mean, now that it's had a little bit of time to breathe, I can totally smell that caramel. But I'm still picking up on some cream corn, a little bit of honey. Yeah, it's time to swap that out.
I mean, not to put it back on the shelf, but
it's beautiful. Beautiful.
Classy.
We did talk a little bit about the bottle presentation. I'm not going to include, the whole wow thing with our logo on the back.
No,
just because that
immediately becomes a 5 because
it did come from the factory that way. It did because you were there at the factory.
Technically, it did.
Distillery, whatever you want to say. Like, I mean, yeah, it's like they swapped out the Quadra junk for a, fuel injection system or something. I don't know. I lost track of thought there because my mind started playing on the etcher, with the little arm flashing around back and forth. That was a really cool video. Before we started,
I love the labeling on there. I love the very classic black and gold ink labeling.
And just because the main label is a little offset, I'm not going to hold that against them. I don't think that's what they mean to do or whatever.
Martha just really enjoyed her free pours that day.
You be nice to Martha. She's a saint. But yeah, I like how it's got all the necessary info on the side. I love how it's in such a beautiful bottle, a sturdy bottle, that you could totally use that for a decanter of some kind, you know, or maybe your own.
Well, and that's just it too.
Infinity bottle kind of thing.
So you soak this bottle down and remove the labels. Like you said, the Savor the Bourbon logo becomes the front side of it.
That would immediately be the front.
And that becomes the only distinguishing marks on it.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna happen.
Going on here on the bottom.
Nope.
I don't see anything. Nope. Smooth.
Yep. And all their bottles are this square format. So.
Yeah, I like square bottles on a shelf, on a whiskey shelf. I mean, I like round bottles too. I'm a fan of bottles. I don't know how you guys. I'm a fan of
whiskey.
Whiskey, yeah. If it's in a bottle, I'm happy. If it shows up in a grocery sack, not so happy.
It almost has kind of a chocolate milkshake kind of a quality, or maybe a step farther, a chocolate malt quality.
I do like a chocolate malt. It does have a little bit of a maltiness to it, like malt that that you would expect. That's like Whoppers.
Yep.
Mama used to love Whoppers.
I love Whoppers.
Oh, they're delicious.
Yeah, they're dangerous. I can, it comes in the big the big carton. I can eat that whole thing in one sitting if I was just left to my own devices.
Well, Christmas is right around the corner. Santa Claus is going to be coming down that chimney.
Santa won't be able to come down the chimney if he eats a whole thing of Whoppers.
Yeah, he won't. It'll be in your stocking, sir.
What did you give this on the nose?
I give it a 4 even.
All right.
The malt barley beer, I mean, this far away from you, you can smell that maltiness. I was pretty happy with it. Cream corn, I did get a wow. A little bit of honey, the cocoa powder you picked up on, brown sugar and caramel, and then later on, as it breathed a little bit in the glass, I got some of those notes too. So I think it's a very solid, very interesting, as interesting as I wanted it to be on the nose, just not what I thought it was going to be, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So I was happy with it. So yeah, I gave it a 4. And then you move over into the palate. After you get it on the palate, the stout influence is immediate. Like you just know. It's like pow pow. The maple sweet. You said it was maple sweet. And then as I was thinking about that and trying to write down stout influence, you probably saw it, you probably heard it. I went silent for a moment because the finish kicked in. And I was like, "Ooh, doggy!" And there was, so I started writing down stuff on the finish, the malt and the barley with the stout influence. But got to go back over here to the palate here. There's clove and anise, however you want to pronounce that. It's a family show. Chocolate, toffee, and dark black cherry were late on the palate going into the finish. So I would agree with that assessment as well. I don't think we got into what the distillery said or what the side of the bottle had to say, what to expect, but it didn't give us nose, palate, and finish. Anyway, so I gave it a 4 1/4.
All right.
I bumped it up to 4 1/4. What did you give it on the nose?
Oh, thank you for asking. I gave it a 4 1/4 on the nose.
4 1/4 on the nose. Goodness.
And I went ahead and gave it 4 3/4 on the palate.
Okay. Well,
I was here for it.
Feeling like a piece of shit right now. Well, speaking of the finish, yeah, the toffee and the dark black cherry, it moved its way into the finish. The stout influence carried through. For me, the malt barley thing, just it kind of popped right there on the finish, and it was distracting. That's why I went like 1,000-yard stare trying to figure out what was going on, as I was giving this thing a good tasting. So I kept it locked in at 4 1/4. How about you?
I came back down and I met you at 4 1/4.
4 1/4? Mm-hmm. I just thought it was a really good pour, man. I mean, it's got pour. I think anytime you take a bourbon and you age it in a stout beer barrel or a maple barrel or a honey barrel or just aging it in different barrels. Not aging. Yep. I keep saying aging. It's not aging it. We're finishing it in these different barrels. I really think it adds such a different character, such a different life to what the bourbon has to offer. And so we did talk about this bottle presentation. Yeah. Natural cork or I think it is natural cork, the way it kind of fell apart. But I mean, it's so close to composite cork.
It's definitely.
It had us guessing.
It's a quality.
Very quality. Yeah. It's got different.
I don't know.
Bevels in there and stuff.
And not that other cork stoppers are any less quality, but
some of them are.
But it's a very dense cork, and so it made us go, huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
But yeah, definitely a natural cork.
and the bottle, with the bottle
it's
itself, we talked
beautiful.
about it. We love the wrapping of the label and the old school design elements. It just really, I really dug this bottle. It gave me an immediate wow, and I gave it an extra quarter point just because I liked it that much better. So 4 1/4 for me on the bottle presentation.
I went ahead and went 4 3/4.
You went 4 3/4. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I am. It is confirmed. A piece of shit. So, all right.
I mean,
All right.
To be fair, I'm the one who had the experience. I was at the distillery.
did.
I did all the things, and so I love this bottle.
Yeah.
Love
you
everything.
hung out
about
with them. You got Burn the Gates blasted over the air.
it. It doesn't have the personalized embossing like so many other bottles have, like the distiller name or all that on there. But in this case, and because of the uniqueness of how it's squared off and all that, to me that actually becomes a plus, because at the end of the day, I can pull the labels off. This becomes a great decanter.
Yeah.
To reuse over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And we were able to get the laser etching Savor the Burn on the back side.
So now the back becomes the front when this bottle's empty. And as good as it is, I don't know how long that's going to last. I mean, could you imagine making an old fashioned with this?
Maybe we need to find out.
I think we do. Well, what did your final score end up being?
All those added up.
Out of a possible 20, divided by 2?
Divided by 2. Mine came out to a 9 even.
9 even? Not bad. Yeah. So with my 0 to 5 on nose, palate, finish, bottle presentation added up, divided by 2, I ended up getting 8.38, or 8 3/8, 8.375.
Very nice.
Yeah. I probably could have taken the bottle presentation and bumped it up a quarter point, just because, like we were talking about, it doesn't have the embossment on here. It's just stripped of all the labels. It can immediately be reused, repurposed, relifed into a decanter, or whatever you might want to use it for. And that reduce, reuse, recycle thing makes my inner Captain Planet smile.
Why not? Yeah.
So I probably could have given that another quarter point push, but I mean, we are trying to be more discerning with our scores and what we give them. But I mean, still between 8 3/8 and 9, this bottle sings. It's great.
Yep.
I had a good time with it. Do you have any final thoughts on this?
I love it, and actually, now that we've had this bottle, I'm looking forward to getting into more from Town Branch.
Yeah.
And the Lexington Brewing and Distilling Company.
Yeah, like you said early in the episode, our first escapade, our introduction with Town Branch would have been in the first couple of months of the Savor the Burn podcast. So you'll have to do a lot of scrolling to get to it. So, if you find it, let us know which episode that is. You can send us an email or leave us a comment wherever you can find us. Email info W2 or Jonathan at savortheburn.com. We'd be happy to hear you. Before we wrap, any cocktails besides throwing it in old fashioned? See what floats.
This will scream in any cocktail.
Any cocktail?
A revolver, a Manhattan, a Midnight Manhattan.
Are there cocktails that specifically ask for that you're aware of anyway? Specifically ask for a beer barrel aged.
I don't know any
bourbon.
off the top of my head.
No. Okay.
I'm sure there is something out there, but none come to mind.
Well, you know what, guys? That's another perfect excuse or perfect reason for you guys to leave us comments and send us the emails to the ones we've already said. We're not going to say it again in this episode.
What cocktails are you making?
Yeah, let us know what you're making out of either this bottle or a bottle like it, because we have it and we want to know what else to do with it. First impression, it's versatile.
It's good by itself.
It's good to great by itself by these numbers. But we know it can do other things, and we want to know what that is. Is this distillery only?
I doubt it.
Doubt it? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to have it laser
there's the
etched.
oak. The oak's on the second nose. Yeah. If you want it laser etched, you got to go there. Yep. Which, to me, it sounds like Town Branch is a great place to visit. So, no matter who you are, where you are, what you're drinking, and who you're drinking with, never forget, keep on burning.